Working in an AI workplace isn't just about revolution, it's about evolution. Today's business climate is volatile. New technology like AI opens doors for opportunity, while at the same time, shaking the foundation of business models and how they work. Now, the response to these changes can be reactive or proactive, panicked or planned. And I'll share with you why I think Gen X is the perfect employee for such volatile times. May you live in interesting times. That's said to be a Chinese curse. Maybe. Or a sloppy translation of an old phrase or made up whole cloth. We're actually not very sure. But this is where we are, right? Living in interesting times. AI is changing the way people not only do business, but think about business. Futures once written in stone feel like they're turning into dust, right? But I think that's where the experiences of Gen X can be such a great asset. We're the last generations to live in a world before most of this technology existed. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, well, how does that benefit us for the companies we work for who use this tech? Well, we don't need hand holding. We thrive adapting to technological change. We're comfortable with face to face communication. More importantly, we have enough mileage behind us to anticipate the road before us. And volatile times need steady leadership. Look, AI is new, and it's natural for businesses to think that what worked yesterday is outdated. But business fundamentals, good processes, robust supply chains, product analysis, market penetration, these haven't changed. AI will be able to help how businesses do what they do, but what businesses do to be successful, that doesn't change. It's remained the same for generations. Provide a product or service that is needed by enough people and provide it at a price worthy of the impact it makes in their professional or personal lives. That's it. Whether that's a blacksmith or a Model T assembly worker or a Tesla software engineer. Good business is technologically agnostic. But because AI is new, a lot of people feel that it's a young person's game. Employers want recent graduates or digital natives, and they want employees to burn the candle at both ends. They want addicts to hustle culture. Now, look, that has value, absolutely, but only to a point. In Philip Blackett's article in Entrepreneur called Hustle Culture Stops Working After 40, Here's What Replaces It, he explains how experienced employees turn that hustle into focus, energy into efficiency. Now, when you're younger, you need as much experience as possible, right? You have an abundance of time and few responsibilities, and you want to experience as many different things as you can because you've yet to figure out which one of those will be the where you want to settle. Now, hustle culture, especially in the beginning, is really important, not only for excitement and momentum, but because it's necessary. It's a necessary part of learning to learn who you are and what you're capable of doing and how you can build a better life for yourself and, hey, maybe for the whole world. But today, so many younger workers look at Gen X as too old to be valuable, too slow to be proactive. But they're missing the natural evolution of thought that comes with experience and age. Look, humanity is predictable. It has a fixed amount of DNA in it. It has a limited number of personality types. Humanity is so predictable that analysts can accurately determine the lifespan of empires, which is a collection of unique citizens, right? For example, there are reasons that 55 plus communities exist. When my wife and I were first married, whenever we drive by one of those communities, she'd say, look, I never want to live in one of those. And I remember saying, look, honey, I get it, but there must be a reason why this makes sense to so many people when they get into their 50s, 60s, or 70s. Well, now that my wife has breached the 50-year mark and our kids are living their adult lives outside of the home, my wife starts saying phrases like, this house is too big for just the two of us, or we have so much stuff we don't use anymore. We should downsize, or our yard has become too impossible to manage. And I smile and I say, and that's why 55 plus communities exist. Now she laughs in agreement. And now we have no intentions of moving into one of those communities anytime soon, but humans are predictable. As they age, what is important evolves. Experience creates wisdom. It also creates awareness of the risks you've never considered before because you hadn't lived long enough to see many of the consequences. The older we get, especially in business, you usually take on greater responsibilities. And the risk of being wrong aren't just like lost hours on the weekend, but they can have a direct impact on people's lives, their families, their mortgages, their futures. At that point, life isn't a side hustle anymore, it is the hustle. Mistakes carry more weight, decisions are more complex. The margin for impulsivity shrinks. Hustle culture thrives on short term bursts of intensity. Midlife leadership demands sustained clarity. Leaders who prioritize sustainability often create calmer, more resilient environments. They listen better. They think long term. They communicate with clarity and model behaviors that scale beyond their own effort. The difference isn't work ethic, it's regulation. Working smarter doesn't mean you're not working hard. It just means that experience points you where you're going to get the most bang for your buck. Not less ambition, but smarter ambition. Not less effort, but better leverage. Not constant intensity, but constant clarity. That shift isn't decline, it's the new edge. As you age, you realize that time is the greatest constraint, not just in productivity, but in our lives. Your existence isn't an infinite pool anymore. It's like a clock counting down. And this realization and its effect aren't abnormal. Psychologists say just the opposite. In the article, Psychology says the reason older people stop caring isn't apathy, it's actually the highest form of self awareness by Lachlan Brown. Well, he shares research that highlights how age and experience teaches you how to block out the noise and focus on what matters most. To quote a well known book, when I was a child, I used to speak like a child, think like a child, reason like a child. When I became a man, I did away with childish things. As you get older, you realize there's only so many grains of sand in our hourglass, and that inevitability reprioritizes what's important. Frivolousness gets replaced by intention. You become ruthlessly clear about what deserves your limited time and energy and what doesn't. People become more strategic about what they care about. That's what experience and time teaches us, both in life and in business. They've learned through the decades which battles are worth fighting and which ones will resolve themselves. That experience, that level headedness, well, it's priceless in a quickly changing world. Gen Xers have the versatility from living with quickly changing technology to also knowing from experience which battles are worth fighting and which efforts will provide the most value. Throwing AI at the wall and hoping it works out through exuberance and sleepless nights and an abundance of caffeine, well, that's not a business plan. It's a hope and a prayer. But seeing AI for what it is and what it isn't, what it can be and what it won't be in your business, that's invaluable. Today, the cost of wasted time in business, that can be catastrophic. Missed opportunities, lost potential, unfocused efforts, they're devastating to a business as they are to a person. Gen Xers have the perfect combination of pre technology human experiences and post technology versatility and adaptability, mixed in with intentionality and prioritization, analysis and proactivity. Bring those qualities to your job or your job interviews or your interactions. That confidence, understanding, and knowledge on how to use your time and the business's time wisely and effectively to generate the best outcomes for both. That's priceless. Your experience is your secret weapon. Add AI knowledge and help guide your business into the prosperous future that awaits it. So, what does this mean for us? Well, three things. One, learn AI and bring that expertise to work. It will show a youthful adaptability and allow you to showcase how your experience and AI knowledge is an invaluable asset. Second, don't shy away from your experience, and discussions focus on where your business acumen can be applied to the new challenges facing the company. Technology is a tool, it's not a business plan. And finally, be energetic and excited about the opportunity to expand your skill sets. Our generation has the rare chance to once again enjoy and apply massive technological change into our lives and all the benefits that come with it. From the internet to big data to cloud computing to 3D printing to AI. It's a great time to be alive. Don't sit on the sideline. Oh, listen, finally, if you're new to AI and you don't know where to start, that's fine. I've created an app that can point you in the right direction. Just enter your work experience, your skills, your hobbies, and preferences, and it will show you what AI tools fit your criteria. Join my community. It's free. The link is in the show notes, and you'll get access to the tool. So check it out. Look, I believe time is our most precious treasure. And the fact that you have spent any of that time with me, seriously, means so much to me. So thank you for being with me today. And Gen Xers, I'll see you next time.